Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Irvin, with another anime first impression video. This one's going to be one that I didn't think I was going to like, but I actually do now. Hey guys, genre-wise, I like horror, I like suspense, I like action. Those were the ones that I really like. And then I dived into anime more, and I started trying more new things. And I obviously I started with shojo, so I do like shojo and shonen. But then I dived in even deeper, and I started appreciating slice of life. I started appreciating more of the dramatic ones. I started appreciating recently some of the sport animes. The ones that I wasn't really appreciating so much, for the exception of one anime called Zombieland Saga, is the idol animes. The idol animes have always been something that I watch and I go, eh. It's one of those like, okay, it's going to be another idol anime. There's a lot of characters. There's too many characters to follow. There's not enough, want in me to actually watch the rest of the anime. But this one was actually not that bad. The short title to it is 22-7. It's also considered Nanabun no Nijyuuni. And that's how it's placed on Funimation. But like I said, it is a idol anime. Now, before I continue, a few things. If you have not done so by now, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell button if you guys don't mind. Make sure you comment, like, and share. Also, go check out my first impression videos, guys. And lastly, there's a little small spoiler alert to it, because there is one detail that could spoil it, but it's not really, but oh well. The anime itself, at least the first episode, follows the life of a very, very shy girl. Always has her bangs over her eyes. She works in what seems to be a cafe. One of those cafes where, people want a chirpy girl, a smiley girl, or at least a girl that has some type of interaction. Sometimes they like the mean girls in those cafes, but she has whatsoever no interaction with them. She's just kind of like, here you go, here's your prize. So very gloomy, very I don't want to say non-professional, but basically that's what it is. So we meet this girl, and she essentially is doing this job to, I guess, support her family. It's a very common background. Her mom is sick, and she has a little sister. Wow, very common background in anime. That kind of typically what happens to the characters that want you to make you feel bad. So she's basically trying to support her family with as much money as possible. She one day gets a letter randomly to an agency that wants to hire her, and so she goes to the tryout. And when she's there, she's like, I don't even know why I'm here. I just came to see what the heck it is. And essentially, 7 other girls show up. So 8 girls in total show up to this idol, what they think is audition. It ends up being that it is not an audition. In fact, they're already chosen. And they follow this sketchy guy, to be honest, into the undergrounds of the zoo, which, again, sketchy. He shows them all the different stuff they have there. They have a practice room, a dance room, instructors, they have a cafe, they have all these interesting facilities that are for the girls. And then he shows them their room that has this weird wall, and the wall essentially says, he tells them that this wall is the wall that chose you guys. Apparently it's some type of being that gives instructions, and they just have to follow, because whatever it says, it will happen. Kind of a weird premises, to be honest, but I liked it. Anyways, halfway in the episode, the shy, doesn't really want to talk to anyone girl leaves, and the guy meets her outside and says, where are you going? Aren't you gonna join the group? And she said, no, this is not for me. I really need a stable job, or something in the lines of that. And he essentially tells her, it's not going to be longer than a week that you're going to be back, according to the predictions of this thing, and she says, yeah, no. Now the whole thing is her talking about how lies is what moves the world, and I like that premises too. That adds a lot of drama to her, and that mysterious side, but also analytical side of how she sees the world in a certain way, and it makes you think. You know how the world kind of does run around lies. We lie quite often, and a lot of people do lie throughout their days. Some people lie in, I guess, nice way, like saying, "Yeah, that looks good on you," and "Yeah, I love your food," or whatever. It's kind of false compliments, I guess you can say. And other people, in the other hand, will just straight up lie to hurt someone. So, with a purpose. So she kind of talks about all that, and then she goes to her work. She gets fired for not being chirpy, and then she goes into her house, takes a bath with her sister, doesn't tell anyone about it. Her sister says, "Hey, I really want to hear you play piano again. I want to see you perform one day." And she freaks out, has a freak fest, and says, "Don't ever say that to me again." Leaves. The mom says, "What happened? What's wrong?" She says, "Nothing." So the girl goes out and sells her piano, and they give her only 1,500 yen for it, which is nothing. And so she ends up deciding to go back. Now, the whole her saying nothing to her mom is, I think, a key point of the episode, because the entire episode she talks about how the world revolves around lies and how she doesn't want to be an adult because that's what an adult is live a world of lies, and she doesn't want lies to control her life. Yet this pivot point of the episode, she lies to her mother, and in a very analytical, overseeing viewer point of view, that is just a great way to start an episode. Great way to write an episode is that you have this girl struggling with the idea of lying, not understanding why people do it, and in a time where she's stressed, where she doesn't want to talk to anyone, where she doesn't know how she's going to be able to pay or help her mother pay for bills, she lies to her to keep them calm, to keep them away from her in her emotions, and she finally understands why certain people lie, at least in an instance like that. So, very interesting premises. Now, obviously, it is an idol anime. At the end of the episode, she goes back and she joins the group, and that's basically the end of the episode. They basically are now a group of 8 girls that are going to be an idol group. She does kind of shows us right at the beginning of the episode a little preview of what is to come, and essentially they do become an idol group. Now, how long it takes them, I don't know, but they kind of introduce each girl in this episode when they meet up, and they kind of all are misfits. They're kind of all are different from each other. Some are very strong leaders, and some are the cute ones. Some are the attractive ones, sexy ones. Some are the or not some. One is like the nice and sweet one. So you have all these different characteristics in girls, which a lot of people like that of idol groups. You have the different type of girls or the different type of guys or whatever, and so we'll see. What I don't like about idol animes, and this has always been my concern, is that sometimes they go on too far on introductions, and they introduce every single character. And this is a smaller idol group from other groups. There's been groups where there's 16 characters or 30 characters, and they go off and introduce every single character, and it takes 8-9 episodes, and then the last 3 episodes is the plot of the anime, at least as a group. So to me, it feels like it cheats away so much from the plot. Now, if they're going to introduce the characters episode by episode, because they only really introduce one, I wouldn't mind so much on this one. One, because there's only 8 of them, but 2 is because the artistic way they used the meaning of lie, and the more she talked about it, really attracted me and intrigued me. So out of 10, I'm going to give this one a 8 out of 10. This is probably the first anime that is an idol anime, not counting Zombieland, a Saga, that I really liked as a first impression video. So, yeah, for sure, 8 out of 10, I think is what it deserves. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. I know there is a huge fan base that loves idol animes, which is why we get so many of them still. But let me know if you are a idol genre lover, and is this something that you like, or maybe this is something that you didn't like because it's not similar to the genre that we're used to. So let me know in the comment section. Also, guys, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell button, like, share. That always helps my channel as well. Thank you again for your love and support, and I think that is all. Thank you, and like always, don't be strangers. See you guys.